Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy FF this video. Stay tuned to the very end, because there will be pulls. It won't be a gigantic amount of pulls, because I can't spend money, and I only gonna get enough lapis for a few pulls, but at least there'll be a few pulls. If I can at least get one of him, that'd be good enough, I suppose. Anyways, let's talk about him. So, TMR. It's almost the same as, like, that free one that he had. His attack is kind of low, so you probably would use the two-handed Dark Vision Katana and then just use his S-Timer, which is... It has Fairy Killer on it, but it's not the best S-Timer we've ever seen, that's for sure. Not really that great, but it is what it is. Love to get this, but there's no way we're getting EX3, so that's not going to be a possibility. Anyways, 150% Dark and for everybody if you have an EX1. EX2, 300% Fire and Dark, but you're probably going to be using for Dark. And 120 times, but the one thing we really want to be looking at here, here's a lot of things. You see a lot of skills in here, but most times you're probably not going to be using any of them. But there's one thing here that you see, 91% defensive Pure Break. Now, again, the difference between 89% and 90% break is pretty big, and the difference between 89% and 91% and even 90% to 91% is huge. And not only that, that's pretty huge, but I think something even bigger is that he has 90% defense and spirit break on demand, just a regular ability that you can use whenever you want. That is absolutely crazy and absolutely worth. I'm just gonna spoil it. It is absolutely worth trying to pull for at least one of this guy, just for that alone. 90% defense spirit break on demand, no cooldown, no one use only. You just get to use it. I feel like that's even better than the 91%. That's really strong. That's really good. But I think this is just as good, if not better, over time, because it's permanently up. There's no cooldowns. You can just use it every 3 turns. Just use it and then refresh it. You know, so that's quite good. He has the it's gonna be what's gonna be happening with every unit now, I suppose. They're just gonna get LB mods per EX level, so that you pull. They're really trying to get you to pull. He does have 40% Katana and Peril. Let's see how we unlock it though. Let's do some searching. We use this cooldown here, and then you get 40% Katana and Peril. Not the best. The other person we'll be talking about is what you would want to pair him with, which I already talked about in my news video. I knew this was going to happen, and I definitely did it. So there's that. Decent leader skill for Dark, very good for like Dark Visions or anything like that. And then 500% stats instead of 300% or anything like that. So 500% full stats for elite soldiers, very powerful. And then his modifiers are as strong as everyone else's currently in the game. So very good. He has multiple elements you can use, but you probably only want to use Dark and Fire. Yeah, keep in mind he is Dark and Fire, so he's not only just Dark, just like unlike his previous version where it was only Dark, he can be Fire or Dark, so that's actually quite good. So yeah, he's very good. The 91% defense spirit break alone is like huge. The only downsides, I mean, it's not really a big downside because so many units have it nowadays. There's no field effects, but I mean, there are so many units that have that covered nowadays where it's not even that big of a deal anymore. Like Kimono Dark Fina now has a 70% Dark Amp field if you want to bring her along. And so yeah, he's gonna get getting a 9.5 for sure, just because having 90% defense break and spirit break on demand with no cooldowns, no having to use an LB first, no having to wait for an SLB to use it, no cooldown, no one use only. That's just broken to me. So 9.5, very good DPS as well. Don't think anyone should be disappointed that he's not a finisher, because since he's a trainer, he's gonna be more useful in the long run, because now he can be useful in a lot of different kind of teams. Whereas the finisher, kind of trade them out every now and then. So very nice. So you might be saying, why am I giving this guy 9.5? Just because, like, he has not very many downsides for DPS slash like defense spirit breaker. On demand, high breaks at all times versus other breakers, and just high DPS. The only downside is that he doesn't have very high katana imperil, so you're gonna have to cover that, and you need a field effect for him because he can't supply that himself. But this guy is definitely a lot better than the previous one, where he had like a really weird base form that didn't really do anything, but I guess it was kind of okay because then you can just use it as like a setup form in like Clash of Wheels or whatever. But there's no Clash of Wheels here, so don't have to worry about that too much. I'd say the only downside is his TMR is trash. It's kind of bad. It's good for new players though. I'll say that. For the rest of us though, we're not gonna be worrying about. We're not gonna use this. We're gonna have to use this STMR. STMR is kind of bad if you're not facing humans or fairies, because then you won't need those killers. And also, does he have that thing? Oh, he does have it. Yeah, so if you equip his STMR, he'll have 300% human and fairy killer straight up, without any Esper equipped. That's actually kind of good. Anyways, let's talk about Vincent, who is finally getting a new form. They finally realized he does exist. So, TMR, kind of bad, but it's fine. STMR is a lot better. Definitely a lot better. And then Reaper Killer, cool. And so he has fire, and no dark. So that's unfortunate. So you really would only be able to bring him with fire teams with Sephiroth. That's okay. He can do fire anyways. I know we're glued. We're so glued because of the previous Sephiroth that we're so stuck on him just being dark only. But we're gonna have to get used to Sephiroth also being in a fire team. And then here's where you would want to pull for him, is because he has great sword, katana, staff, rod, spear, instrument, throwing weapon, gun, and fist are in peril. So the only ones that are missing is sword, I believe, right? There's probably a few others. Sword is one of the ones that are definitely missing, and I can tell if we tell it right away, but great sword and katana and rod in peril, all good. He gives himself gun in peril, of course, as well. That's pretty cool. And then he has a 75% field imperil effect for fire and dark, which is the ones that Sephiroth cares about the most. He has 85% attack and magic breaks, which is, I guess, is the norm now, because we can't seem to get much higher than those on demand. And then he has a lot of things in here, but the game is so in one way where, like, if you don't use an LB to do a lot of damage, and it's just not worth it. So like all these abilities and, you know, ability modifiers and things just don't seem really worth it because they're not high enough. They don't do as much damage, so that's alright. Anyway, leader skill. What is transcendent? That's a new category. And fire allies at least, but I don't know what transcendent means. I guess that's a new category that I didn't even recognize. Okay, so transcendent allies get not a great buff, but you get 30% extra damage, and then you get a 50% damage increase, just flat damage increase. And then you can do fire. He's locked to fire. So he's not nearly as good. I feel like this guy's not nearly as good. The only reason why you'd ever want to pull him is that you get this 60% weapon imperil for Sephiroth. So with that in mind, oh, also the field effect, but his damage is probably gonna be okay, but nothing compared to Sephiroth. Oh, also Sephiroth has, like, I forgot to mention, does he have it? Yeah, he has all killers on this cooldown on the next turn, so you probably would want to use this for the all killers, which is nice. So there's that too, by the way. Anyways, Vincent's gonna get like an 8 because he's good, but you really want to focus on Sephiroth, and then if you have resources left over, maybe you can get lucky and get this guy. I do not. I can only go for Sephiroth unless we get like godly lucky. So this guy's gonna get an 8. His overdrive is really not that amazing because I'm pretty confident that his 50% damage field will get overwritten by another field effect, and it's not like its own separate field effect. It says ally field, So it's act like just like any other buff for an ally field. So as much as I would love to get them both, and you guys know I would, I can't do it. I can only go for one. I'm gonna go for Sephiroth, so let's get into it. So we're gonna have to get very lucky, guys, in this pool. Like, we're gonna have to get like amazingly lucky because we only have 10k lapis, and that's all I was able to get. So that's it. That's all I can do. So, oh, there's no sound. Hold on. All right, so hopefully we can get him, guys. Just one. One would be good enough. I can't go to the whole thing, so we can only go to the free one, I think, right? I'm pretty sure. Let's hope we have the hat on. We have the usual pool music on. Could be something here, guys. Could be something. It would be great if we get him on the first hole right here, right now. No. It's someone who I don't need. It is what it is. Is this Sephiroth? Nope. We missed 2 times, guys. We swung twice and we missed twice. That's EX1 of Fang, who I don't even remotely need right now. He's not EX3, but we're striking and missing, guys. Come on. Nope. I can already tell right away. You can tell if there's no icon in the corner. So already. Oh, I don't have enough. What? Did one of them cost more? I don't have enough. I thought 10k was enough, but apparently it's not. So I'm gonna have to find a way of getting more. Alright, we only have 2 more chances, guys, and that's gonna be it. Oh, we also have some tickets, but I mean those are not gonna give us anything, I'm sure. But that's like the last resort. So can we please get Sephiroth in one of these 2 pools, please? That's not Sephiroth. I don't need that. That's just another one of those units that just pollute your unit inventory. When I saw the sword, that's such a huge bait, guys. And of course there's no icon on that last one, so there's still the one that's on the screen there. There's still one that's coming up next. There's still one more. No. This is not it. This is not what I was hoping to happen, guys. But what can you do? I mean, I can't go any further than this. It's going to change the rainbow, but it needs to change one more time for us to have any kind of hope here. Alright, alright. We still have one more chance. This could be Sephiroth, maybe. No, but I mean, at least it's a newer unit that's not EX3 for me. But we struck out. So no Sephiroth and any of those steps. All 4 steps failed. So I guess no, wrong one. Can't do the daily. We have 2 tickets. Sephiroth's probably gonna be blues. What if we get it? That'd be crazy. Yeah, they're both gonna blues, but yep. So I don't know what else I can do, guys. That's it. I can't do anymore. I have no more lapis to spend. So no Sephiroth for me. At least not right now. I have until the 28th, but that's I don't know what I'm gonna do. So kind of sucks that we just did full 4 pulls and didn't get any of them. But I heard Sinzar didn't do too well either, and he went through the whole thing. That's my usual thing, is I go through the whole thing and don't even get one. That's my thing. So at least someone else can understand going through the whole thing and not getting anything. So after you're done watching this, go watch Sinzar's video, which you may already have before this one. So if you haven't, go watch it. Some pulls, some more Sephiroth pulls. Maybe he'll do more. I don't know, but I don't know when I'm gonna be able to. But I was just kind of hoping just at least for one, just for the 90% on-demand breaks. But Apparently that's not going to be in my future, guys. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. As always, Happy New Year to all of you, and I'll see you in the very next video. Peace.